Commander, I believe you were recently appointed as the attaché of the British Embassy in Lisbon for the security and defense. I was thinking that it would be important for us to understand the position of Her Majesty's government when it comes to the relations between Portugal and the United Kingdom on this area of the bilateral defense system.
Exactly. Well, as you know, and as we know both in the UK and in Portugal, that both Britain and Portugal have a long relationship, the oldest alliance in the world, and in many respects that's never died. And despite the UK not having an attaché here in the last 10 years, it doesn't mean to say that we haven't continued during that time having a defence relationship. We certainly have. 10 years ago, the UK was looking at where it is based around the world, its attaché footprint, and it mixed where we're located up at the time. And recent times we've realised there's a refocus back on the Atlantic, and that's where both Portugal and the UK have a real strong interest, common interest, and it was only right that the UK re-establishes itself here, and we are pleased to be back here, and I am the lucky one to be here.
Do you believe that both countries belonging to NATO has made it a little bit easier for the relationship to thrive, even though there were no attachés here in Lisbon?
I think so. I mean, NATO is the cornerstone both of Portuguese defence and UK defence, and so without a doubt our NATO cornerstone has been a strong link, which has made it easy for us to continue that relationship without a resident attaché. I think it's fair to say that although we haven't had an attaché here, there has been an attaché responsible for Portugal, albeit he was based in London at the time.
So you haven't had a chance to understand what the Sengfa has said in this launch, but he has talked about the challenges that Portugal has, having such a big ocean to take care of and such a big sea to take care of. Being the United Kingdom also a country with historical and present challenges when it comes to the ocean, what do you think are the common bases for both countries when it comes to organizing and defending the ocean we all share, the Atlantic?
Well, I think those interests are probably self-explanatory. The sea and our maritime forces and our expeditionary forces are the common link there. Whether that is anti-submarine warfare, whether it's maritime policing, constabulary operations, counter-narcotics, what happens at the sea, both for Portugal and the UK, is really important. And our navies have worked together for centuries. And we are fully integrated, and therefore our interests are common, and the way we deal with those interests are also common.
So you think that both navies have a presence in the military area, but also present in keeping the civilian aspects of the ocean safe in the developing process?
Yes, I mean, our Navy's responsibility is a military one, clearly, but I think, particularly in today's world, that the blurring between what is a military operation, what is a security operation, are coming together. And we have a responsibility, whether we're military or police, in understanding and sharing that information. And I know Portugal does that, and certainly the UK, that both the police forces, the border forces and the military share that information to make sure we understand what is going on in the seas around our country and in the Atlantic and wider world. Military is clearly interested in those aspects that are obviously military, whether that's submarine warfare, the police more so in elsewhere. But we have a common interest, and in sharing that information is really important so we can achieve our objectives.
Does your presence here in Lisbon?
Sorry?
That's the reason
yes,
also
yes,
for
yes,
your presence
yes,
here
absolutely,
in Lisbon.
yes.
Thank you very much, Commander.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.